Hey guys, Damon Hunt here with some Forex prediction, hopefully. Okay. Now, I did a losing trade last night after I said I wouldn't trade, and I want to show it to you. Where is it? All right, it's in here. Okay, so you can see here that I did a buy right here. And the reason why, although it looks retarded to do in here, I was trying to catch this move as if we had already done liftoff, and we had actually not tested back down here. And you can see just how slow this liftoff was last night before we took off. Anyway, that was my testing point. After I did the video, I said I wouldn't do a trade, and I said, well, let's try a break breathe. God, I'm not very good at this break breathe stuff yet. So I had a little trend line in here in the 5 minute, and I was like, okay, we've done liftoff, and we should be up. But anyway, it was kind of like this trade right here, actually, except you can see, sorry, once a trend gets going, that you can get quite a nice move out of a liftoff. So I've been trying to teach myself to catch those. That's not my forte, I must say, but I thought I'd give it a go. And it didn't work out, so I lost 10 pips. All right, so I gotta say that with all the stuff that's happening in the euro, news-wise, and we might want to, I mean, if it's your money, you may want to just sit on your hands for a bit and let what's going to happen play out, because it might get a little awesome. All I can say is for tonight, we still have the same trade. If you take the first levels, we've already hit them here. You can see that. And you would have made a whopping 6 pips off that one so far. 7. Oh. But looking at, if you take this right up to the top, remember I was talking about how if it's not going to do a double top here, if we are going to break through this level, it should do this break, breathe, continue, and that's a good point to take it up. Otherwise, I'm going to try to trade it down. I just want to see if I can show you a way that we could take it without catching the knife, because the catching the knife, although you get beautiful positions, it is scary, and some people just can't handle that. And I understand psychologically it is difficult to be trading, trying to catch a top. So I'm just going to throw some more trend lines in here. You can see that we are hitting trend lines and bouncing. Like, these trend lines are working. So if we do come up into this trend line again tonight, which is could be 2673. Let's look at that in the intraday charts. See if we have any levels that line up. That's in between the H3 and the H4. But the other one I want to look at here just quickly was the bottom last night. If we just take this and simply go here, we also land in the same area, 2667. So it's going to get rocky in here tonight. If we are going to try to get through that level, woo, that should be fun. How could we trade this so it's not scary as all hell, I guess is what I'm trying to say. You may want to wait for it to if it's going to come up here, you may want to wait for it to break back down, breathe on this trend. So let me just put the lines in. We got another trend line here, right? Now, if it does something horrible tonight where it comes down and comes up and breaks both, do not sell. Just let it play its course. And then if it's going to be a stop grabber up there, it'll come back down, consolidate, or should consolidate, just to give me entry. and continue. So you could look for this kind of a move, and this would be the point to enter if it's going to do something like that. It's a little early to be doing my announcement, and especially since we have New York session on Friday, can be pretty awesome. A lot of things can change, so I may have to do a second video here. But another thing that could happen is it just burns time, and the Euro Open is around here, so it may just spike into the H3, and that may be a good one. Like if it breaks down here and just kind of, you know, does that, you could look to sell out of here just on the H3 touch, right? Like if it spikes through, something like that. Or you could take it if it comes back down. There's a bunch of ways you could take it. I'm not going to go through every single way. Some people use MAs, for Christ's sake. So the other thing that could happen is we come down to the L3 for a trade tonight. And you can see we have a very small trend line. Sorry, got a very small trend line coming through here. And it may breathe on two before we continue up. So the trade for the Euro might actually be a trade up. This is a point to try. I just want to look in the larger time frame. You see, if this is the level that's going to get hit, so that's not a major, right? No, okay. If we're not going to go through this level, all I'm trying to say, and it starts picking up steam outside of this, it's going to be really difficult to catch. So I'm just going to get rid of some of these lines that I think are useless now. This is a really good line to watch though, because it's been very helpful for me all along. Just line it up here exactly. Yeah. So you can see that that's been containing the market very well so far. So let's use that as our ultimate trend line. See if we got anything else useful in here. That one's pretty useless now. That one looks like it's still trying to operate a little. No, screw that one. I'm just going to go with that one. That one's totally useless. This one is very good. Just trying to see if the trend lines here line up. See what kind of system we're in. Looks like a different system completely. Yep. Internals. So this still could be a 1, crazily enough. It could be a 1 coming down, and this could be the retracement. Anyway, we'll leave this line up here because this one looks real sexy. And if it's going to do something which would be just fantastic, because I haven't seen it in so long, but it's usually what happens, or used to happen, is you get, before the target gets hit, like we have this target up here, right? Right there, which is basically a double top. It's exactly a double top, 26.67. So we have this target that we'd like to trade out of. What happens is before the target is hit, not like right next to it, but way before. So this is 25 pips away, so that's okay. 25 pips away, it dives down and then does something like this, where it's a huge consolidation, huge and long, comes up under the line. May look more like this actually, where you get a breathe, a B, and a C up into our targets, and it's just beautiful. Love those. So I'd really like to see that, but it may be a little more difficult than that. So anyway, all I'm saying is, however you trade, this may be an area you want to try trading from. we do have, you can see we're going to have some breakage to happen. Anytime on any of these levels, if it breaks back through, if you get a sharp move, so say it comes up here somehow tonight, and you get a sharp move, actually look more like this probably. If it's going to look textbook anyway. So you have a sell here, a sell here, right? Sell, sell, and so on. And then you can take your targets or whatever. It should be quite good. Now, one of the main reasons, if this is going to go down, it shouldn't make a higher high. So I really like this to be a stop and not a stop grabber. Because if we're going to go down, this is such a great target. If I go into the 1 hour here. Nope, sorry, into the daily. Shrink this up a bit. Where's the 38.2? 38.2 is at 27.50, so that's way up there. So our first resistance, right, if we're going to use this as a down leg, is huge. Down at 21, sorry, down at 2060. Actually, sorry, that's out. 2075. So that's very good. Whereas if we come up here, we'll get smaller resistances. So if it comes up here and turns around, like makes a higher high and turns around, it's going to be more difficult coming down, as opposed to it doesn't quite make the high and drops like a stone. It's going to have a free fall, right? There's not much. There's no resistance here because there's a huge gap. So so anyway, if it does make a higher high, it's going to be tougher for it to have more levels to hit, more resistance levels to hit. Is all I'm trying to say there. Now, I do have targets above that, so that's not anything to get married to. 27.20 is, if this is some kind of a system coming up, it could go as high as 27.20 per this system. I think I might have something here actually. Yeah, well, its first bar lines up actually really well. Let me just see how that lines up and if that says anything to us. 27.20 area. Page 5 at 27.23. So yeah, I like that one definitely. And that would be a beautiful stop grabber if it did come up there, and that would totally discount what I just said about how it would be an easy free fall down. But if it does come up there and drop out of that level, it would be a wicked stop grabber and a great entry, quite safe. So I'm going to put that there, and I'm going to put one here, and you can take these however you trade. You can take them right on the fibs, or you can take them, you know, whatever. I don't care. This one, yeah, that's great. 27.18. I like it. Now let's just look at the other ways we can do this. I'm just going to put this up here so I know what I'm doing. And I want to use this guy. Oops. Oh, you can see why that level was, wow. We got a trend line, we got a 61.8 extension, and what else we got in there? What was the other thing I had in there? I think I had a little fib. Oh yes, that's right. If I use this and drop it to the first level, right, first spikes, get them here, is the same. So this is a good level. So this might be the level. Now let's look for an actual entry on that level. I'm just going to put another trend line in here. It's about the same anyway. An entry on this level could look like this. What's that? 2618, 2600. Yeah. I mean, unless we get a free fall, remember we have broken a trend here, so to properly come through it, we should come quite sharp. But regardless, you could try trading if it comes and consolidates. So even if it bounces here and then slowly comes back up, hits the H3, and under this trend line, you could test this area because that is does have a lot of confluence there. Triple tops and quadruple tops in the bigger time frame, right? Which is a breathe. Sorry, that's another triple top in the bigger time frame. A couple triple tops, a 61.8, and a fib extension. Sorry, and a fib projection. So there's definite reasons in there. And if we get a break in here and it does exactly what I was talking about, where it comes back up and you get your trade, you can hopefully get a 0 in there. And then we spike through on into our ultimate target here of double top. That could be sweet because you're under this trend line, just through the H3. That could be a really, really nice trade too. So I'm just going to put one. Put one here. But look how I'm looking at it too, right? If we shoot up through this trend line, that's different. Wait for it to come back and breathe, right? Or at least for my strategy. So, and then I like this. I actually like this trade that already happened. Of course, because it's before the open. Anyway, and then we have that up trade that would be a breathe through here. I think is that right? That looks a bit low. Oh, that's right. 2600. Yeah, 2600. So let's put this trend line back in place. Yes, that's a good trade too. Or at least a good testing area. So those are my trades tonight. Now, this trade, you may want to look for a break in trend again before it comes, or MACD, whatever your entry is, but just watch out for that one. Not watch out for it, but remember that the pips are the only thing I'd be looking for, like to nail down is 44 pips or 67 pips if you're feeling like you want to risk to take it to that. It's not huge pips in that. And you could take out half of it and try to ride this thing on top, and if you think it's going to go higher, which it may do, so it would be, wouldn't be that bad to do that. But the nice thing is the ride down is huge. So if you're taking some risks here, just remember that we're looking at going lower than that. So that is 2310. So you're looking at 300 pips down, 50 pips up. So this is where you should, if you're going to be risky on any of your trades in your system, you'd want to keep it in this area. And if we get above, remember we have next week to trade it up or whatever, or you can just sit on your hands next week while all the crazy announcements come out. But I really like this. I love how this is being respected, this trend line. The more hits on it is a little scarier, but it's really, really being respected, so that's nice. Let's just do another internal guy here. Oh man, we got another one there, eh? Yeah, man, 2664. 2664. I like it. We got our H3 at 54 and our H4 at 78, so it's right in the middle there. But hey, that's a beauty. So anyway, that's what I see tonight, and please give me some feedback on how you trade these levels and how you're doing trading these levels, and if I'm helping you at all on any of that stuff, because I would like to know. Alrighty guys, catch you later. Bye.